Green Goblin, I'm leaving the Shane Goblin. Oh my God, it's I made it, I got problem. Oh my mama name is her to be monogamous. She's telling me like this area. I go Ariel, she a mermaid. I love the water but can't swim, said don't worry. I wish I could marry her and take her name. Nigga, I'm joking. The cabana smell like Dolce.
Yes. Hello. Welcome. I don't know why that sounded a little bit Mario-esque, but we are on a Nintendo channel. I don't know if you've read the channel name or the title of this video, but nevertheless, here we are playing a little Square Enix RPG, MMOing. You are MMOing, and I am MM-flowing. And while I manage to breathe here, Jesus Christ, I will take you on another trip, another path down the demon quest line. Today we're doing quest number 3 of the demons, which essentially is the most fun demon quest. And when I say fun, I mean we have to go to the most amount of places, and it's very annoying, and children are involved. And I know how much America loves those. Oh boy, government. But we're not here to talk about that. First of all, let me get into the gameplay. So today, in the quest, essentially we have to help out a child who is infected by anger and evil and demons and all that good stuff. So they're mad for some reason. We don't know why. They're in this house somewhere, that house. And you're here to find out. So you go there, you talk to the mom, and you talk to the girl, and then they're like, my mom threw away that one thing that I really liked, that she didn't know was valuable. So, and mom threw it away. It's randomly out there in the field somewhere. We go get it, and then we come back, and then the girl is gone because she ran out because she's super mad at mom, who doesn't care about anything. She runs out, and then we go find her, dispel her evil munchkins, her evil munchkin energy. Of course, the boss fight, and then we find out who is the quote-unquote ringleader behind it all. But this is one of those amazing quests in Dragon Quest. See how many times I can say quest in one sentence. That indeed has a huge twist at the end. So there's a villain, quote unquote, but the villain was the friends we made along the way, isn't it? In it that. So that's essentially the gameplay, guys. Just a little back and forth, little collection, little boss, right? Not too long of a quest line here, although in this recording, it says post-recording here, if you haven't realized, I do a couple of bosses on the side to just gain some levels. Because you do see up there, we have bonus time on. I'm dumb. So I hit the record button, not realizing that I was actually going to grind up my demon swordsman a little bit beforehand. And I just kind of like, I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it, man. So yeah, we're going to get a few levels during the course of this because of that. Because just every now and between, whenever we're walking through town, I decide to hop in a buck boss bitch. So that's why this episode is slightly longer than the other ones. Most of these demon swordsman quests, most of the quests in general in this game can be done in like 10 minutes. Unless you dilly-dally, like a loser, like a slow runner. I am no slow runner. I am speed runner. I'm just kidding. Some games I do like to beat quickly, but for the most part, if I like a game, I want to spend as much time in there as possible, And I feel like that is kind of the same mentality as speedrunners. I feel like the only people that I don't agree with gaming-wise are the people who play the game for the first time and skip cutscenes. I'm like, but you haven't seen it yet. Like, it's okay, I guess, if you watch the whole story on YouTube or something, or it's a really old game and you already you got spoiled or whatever, but I don't know, man. Immersion is very valuable to me. So sometimes even when I know what's going on, that's why I like recording these too, because even when I know what's going on, especially for this game, the animations are so good, so I like to see what's actually happening, unless I have things to do. I have to be quick about it. I'm not saying I've never skipped a damn cutscene. But yeah, I'm a very achievement-focused gamer, so it just depends on the situation. If I need to skip, I need to skip. If I don't need to skip, I don't need to skip. I have objectives for life, strangely enough. And because of that, it fuels a lot of hate, and that's what I want to talk about today. We'll gloss over the story spoilers for now, because I feel like it'd be easier to explain when we get our villain in front of us. So that's when I'll wait to do that. But yeah, I want to talk about how hate and the music industry, and it just propels things to be promoted that probably aren't going to help us, you know? So guys, if you haven't realized, um, rap, urban, ethnic, African American, that kind of music is definitely in the mainstream right now. It's definitely a thing that has been popping off like crazy. Ever since the extension of trap music, we just got the release, early October here, of Bryson Tiller, one of the first pioneers of trap music. He blended with a little bit of an R&B style. He sort of brought on the next era of R&B, along with him and Young Thug and T.I. And that essentially propelled it to um, the version that it is today. I'd say it brought us on that path, and we really have not strayed from the course too much. From basically, we had a more old school style before, where the beats were more sampled, and now it's a lot more, to me, and this is just my opinion, a lot more samey, a lot more identically based, beat and structure wise. And this is indicative, if you've browsed the channel for a while, you realize that I've been throwing video game music over a lot of these songs, a lot of the recent songs. It's because the beats that they use have zero melodies. And of course it's a rap song, it's really not supposed to, especially not every song. But yeah, the beats are incredibly uninspired to me. And as a producer, you know, the only thing I know to do is to just show these motherfuckers how to do it. You know, I don't know what other way I could really promote my skills or talents or my unique artistic method, rather than just mixing together what I feel like belongs together, you know? But in general, a lot of the producers kind of just phone it in. And I feel like this is what's fueled the AI era. Because although there seem to be endless amounts of rappers, you know, doing their thing, they really only come to like 5 different producers. I swear to you, man. It's like DJ Mustard, and then it's like more DJ Mustard, or whatever that other guy is, Young Metro. You know, like how many other producers have you even heard of? And this is the thing with production and things like that, guys, that you really don't want to be known specifically. A lot of producers are pretty chill, pretty low-key. They just kind of do their thing. They chill in the background. But the problem with the music industry before was that people held the hate in their hearts from everyone. And they used that to fuel them. Music, the lyrics, but especially the production. And it's quite sad how, you know, you really felt like you could only take off by copying, cloning a style, but that is how the algorithm works. You put the type beats in there, and you put the rapper's name in there, so that, you know, you get sort of like a attraction from their, I don't know, you like vampires suck their net worth away a little bit by bit, to get a piece of the market share. And this lack of creativity, like I never liked, you know, naming my beats like this, or just doing random beats like that, because, you know, you do get inspired by things, but I like to make weird shit. And I also like a lot of indie artists. So while a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, let's make this J. Cole beat, you know, I'd be over here like, let's make a Smino beat, you know, let's make an Ark Woods beat, you know, let's make a fucking, you know, no Kanye West, let's make a Benny the Hill beat. I don't know, Benny, you know, this is weird, you know, I like weird things. And so a lot of people would look at the talent that I may or may not have, and say you have to propel it forward, you know, you have to gel off of these other artists, and it's honestly, guys, it's really what's trapping us. Because a lot of music is just seen with dollar signs in your motherfucking eyeballs. You know, you're gooning over the thought of thousands and thousands of dollars. And of course, if you do that, you know, and you run towards the fame, you're gonna get the fame. The problem is, people don't realize how easy fame is to come by nowadays. Really, all it takes is just repetition and consistency. But you don't want fame. You don't want fame. You want a loyal fan base that respects what you do specifically, you know, respects your personality, your work ethic, you know, but mostly your values. You want a community that has the same values as you. And a lot of times people realize later on in life, hey man, this rapper I was listening to, he actually doesn't have the same values as me. I'm gonna, you know, move on. And this is because these guys still don't have healed inner childs. They are still running around angry, pessimistic, you know, hateful, spiteful. And this is not just the rappers, man. It's the producers. I swear to you, man. I swear to you. If you're not getting it off the ground, it's probably because you don't have a good inner. And your inner shapes the outer. I don't care how long it takes. The inner will eventually morph, you know, or the outer, excuse me, will eventually morph into what you feel on the inside. So please, 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 if you're going towards this art thing, I really don't have any advice for you besides to not tell anybody and to not lie to yourself. Ask yourself the big questions constantly. That's what's going to help you create the best art. Why am I making this? Why am I here? Does this feel right to me? How does this connect to my story? And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry you have to go back to your past constantly and, you know, think about the future, but you chose this art. You know? I hate that I have this stupid tick in my speech, but we'll work on it. The whole you knows, the ums and whatnot. So I'll work on it. I'm slowly becoming a better speecher. But we chose this life of creativity, of love, of knowledge, of learning. And you have to be honest with yourself. This is where the honesty comes. This is where the not lying comes. There's not a lot of stories you can tell besides your own. If you want to be authentic. You know, you could be like Kendrick and tell random different stories from your perspective. You can try to jump into different people's perspectives. You can tell them how you see it. But all in all, you're only telling your story. This is why people don't respect people like Big Sean. It's clear as day to me, that some people just rap about whatever's popular. They don't care. They may not live the life. They may live the life sometimes. But just be honest with yourself. You know, if you want to be one of those people, if you're just tired of making content, nobody's watching me, I want all the fame, I want people to love me, then go be Doechii. Go be Doechii. Just lock in on some bullshit that you don't really believe in, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. But lock in on something. You know what Doechii was doing before she blew up? Everything. And I think she liked doing that. Personally, I know variety is the huge spice of life for any creator. And honestly, it just feels weird to lock in on something that really didn't feel like a lot of the brands you were going for before, in my opinion. Now, luckily, it's still good art. But just from what I've seen, it just feels like it's still, say it with me, guys, coming from hate, coming from resentment, coming from a place that is not wholly love. And I feel that. I feel like a lot of music listeners feel that. I feel like a lot of content creators feel that. And when you feel that from someone, it's like, I really know where to go with this. You know, the parasocial relationship is kind of dying, and that's what happens. That's why a lot of rappers fall off, and why a lot of rappers haven't fallen off that are going on for so long. You know, we're thinking about the Kanye's, we're thinking about the Drakes, we're thinking about blah, blah, blah. It's because they have just have such a strong foundation. And if you want to know how to truly never leave the spotlight, this strong foundation is built on peace. Nothing else but peace. And if you combine the peace with the love, you become a Frank Ocean. You become a harlot, a deity to the music industry. And you really don't feel like you need to be there. You feel like it's my gift to the world for me to bless you with my existence. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. It's funny I did that after I said bless you. That was actually a little bit funny. And I keep using artists like Frank Ocean as an example for how to take your fame and actually use it to build wealth that lasts. Of course, it's not like he was broke before, right? But a lot of people think getting wealthy is just getting famous. And there's a lot more steps to it. That's the whole reason. I believe I've talked about this before. It's the whole reason why a lot of people who win the lottery immediately go broke. Why a lot of football players who leave the league go broke. It's the main reason. It's because, in general, wealth is a mindset. It's a lifestyle. It's a generational curse to have someone just thinks, I'm going to be broke. I have to work super hard for my money. And you've never had to work hard to live, ever, in any era in life. It is never, especially now, but it has never. And this may be capped to some of you. You'd be like, that's a lie. Back in the prehistoric days, we had to fight for our food. Whatever, man. What the fuck ever, man. I'm telling you this because clarity like this doesn't come every once in a while. And I like things that piss me off, and I hope this pisses you off. But in every era in life, there's always an easy way and a hard way, and in a way that embraces pain and pursuit. The three ways have crossover. But the problem with nowadays is people confuse the easy way with the pain and pursuit way. And they're like, hey, why aren't I making progress? What's happening? Why am I a loser and I'm 50 years old and my wife hates me? Because you want life to be easy. There is a hard way too, and the people who are mad and resentful and hateful, aka the dochis, they go the hard way, with the hate. And yes, that does give you progress. Yes, you're gonna get, oh my god, look at you, look at your progress, good job, girl, oh my gosh, look, girl boss, gaslight. Nobody wants to keep that up. Nobody wants to do that forever. But then you choose the pain way, the uncomfortable way, the way that doesn't make a lot of sense. The path that maybe, hey, Dochi, I've been making music for 10 years. Why don't I make music for another 10 years? Just doing what I fucking want to do. Instead of locking into some random Hollywood bullshit persona that maybe I like and maybe I don't like. I don't know. I'm not going to speak in her place. But just from my perspective, like I'm saying, guys, it doesn't seem very ingenuous. And that's what happens when you choose the hard path. You choose the hard path, and sometimes you don't like the hard path. You have to choose the pain path. You have to choose the uncomfortable path. Sometimes what's painful isn't hard for you. People don't realize that. Sometimes what's painful is just an uncomfortable conversation with someone. Sometimes what's painful is just, putting your foot down and having a backbone. That's not hard. That's being honest with yourself. That's listening to God. That's listening to your little intuition voice. And that's what I call a God cast. Nowadays, it's not really a huge deity or whatever the fuck, whatever you want to think about it. It's not some black guy with long hair or white dude with a robe. It's you. It's you. It's that voice in the back of your head that says, hey man, maybe we shouldn't smoke weed today. Hey man, maybe go work out. Hey man, maybe don't crash out on this person because they're just trying to rest. They're just trying to rest. Maybe go send that text. Maybe it doesn't sound like this. I don't know if your voice sounds like Elmo, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You know how to follow it, which is why I hate videos that give you like specific guidelines. Like, you want to be more popular, if you want more friends, if you want more lovers, if you want a girlfriend. No, all this shit is bullshit. You already know what to do. You know, I know, we all know. We know. Stop lying to yourself. You fucking know. You fucking know. And so, when we ignore ourselves, when we lie to ourselves, when we do not tell the truth to ourselves, the hate comes, the resentment comes, and it just fuels more hate. You have to be real and just, chill out. And the peace is the foundation to that. Once you have enough peace, you will welcome the pain. They're like, man, it's way too peaceful around here. Somebody needs to come try and kill me. Somebody needs to try and murder my ass. I don't like the peace. I want anger. I want anguish. I want violence. I try to kill me. But right there is where we find it. Where we find the progress, where we find the love. Every time. And the funny thing about life is when you hunger like that, you're just gonna kind of want more. People think the whole progression of love and goals and healing is like a straight line, and it is not. It is a circular motion. You go up and then you go down, and then you go up and then you go down. And in recent months, man, it's feeling like we're in a huge down one. Or in a huge downward. I'm feeling it in the content creators that I watch parasocially. There's a little bit of a shift. People are feeling weird. And so we have to vibe through that. We have to go through the pain willingly. We have to hope it's painful as possible so we gain a lot more levels, because it's not going to get easier. It's not, man. Just like this game. It's very easy right now. But version 7 is going to start fucking us over a couple years from now when I start playing it. Now, we're making good progress. Okay, so let me pause my rant for a little bit of the story spoilers. This is the guy. This is the man. You see his rose. You see his demon horns. I believe it was not this version that the Demon Realm has been released, but yeah, the demon designs were finalized very, very early on, so I just like the amount of planning and forethought that went into this game. And Demon Swordsman here, he is convinced that this is the guy that did all him wrong and whatnot. So his goal, we're gonna call him Wiener is to fuel off of your hate. And honestly, I feel like he's just a representation of big business, big pharma, big corpa. Because that's what they do, guys. That's what they fucking do. And honestly, he doesn't even understand why he needs to kill him. And that's gonna get into the spoilers area, so whenever he decides to tell us, we'll get into it. But yeah, I just wanted to get that little tidbit out there. The reason why we should not go for the hard things for no reason, unless you really like the hard things. I'm not saying that, unless you like the hard things, then you're going towards the pain and pursuit, right? But don't just do hard shit for no reason, because then that's going to breed resentment, and then you're going to attract, Wiener over there. And he just feeds off of that shit. He's setting a stage for that shit. He's like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Oh yeah, good job. Let me exploit you. Let me exploit you, baby. Yeah, you're 18, let me exploit you. Because hate is power, guys. If you don't realize it by now, I'm sorry to tell you this. It props up a lot of the economy. A lot of the engagement. I know for a fact that if I wanted a really high engaging video, I'd probably just say something racist in the title. I'd probably add an annoying content creator to it, or just add some horrible opinion on there that maybe I don't even have. I know how to blow up. I studied marketing. But once again, guys, if you want true longevity, if you want to do this art shit, if you really like making it, if you really like creation, look for loyalty, look for respect, and you get that from hopping on the same platform, same time, every day, consistently, with a brand that you respect, and a piece, an amount of, and a piece? A piece, yes. And an amount of peace that allows you to come in fully and wholly and give yourself your source to the audience, Your version of God. Because we were all there, you were there, I was there. We're all here, around. At the beginning of time, the beginning of the universe, when the Big Bang happened, we were all a piece of that shit. So you gotta take that little speck of it, Don't take the speck of Hitler that you have in yourself, take the speck of God, and use that. Use that. You can use a speck of Hitler too. I don't care. I'm not your mom. Use whatever you can, man. This has been me. This has been the model of Static Tokyo. This has been hate fueling more hate. Thank you for watching the quest, and next time we're gonna do even more demon things. In a swordsman kind of way. Okay. I love you. I appreciate you. Go ahead and drop a sub if you want. Oh man, we heard from Diesel. He's gonna kill wieners. Oh my goodness, I can feel his hatred. Me too. I can feel a lot of people's hatred. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna stop going. Okay, guys. Once again, appreciate you. I will catch you next time. Take that deep sub.
I don't need to what is she to me? Don't ask me about your girl. Go down. What I've been doing that for? what she been doing that for? I smell it. What is she to me? Go down, don't ask me about your girl. Go down, what I been doing that for? Oh wow, what she been doing that for? I smell it.